We are live. SeeJeanty, Chris Jeanty, SeeJeanty Media. Chris Jeanty here. Good to be talking to you guys. Hello, everyone, on this Saturday afternoon, Saturday morning, depending on where you are. You know, I know it's usually the shows. Usually we do it Sundays, but you know, Saturday's just a little better. You can, I think we can have a little more energy. Sunday can be a little too laid back. But as folks come in, certainly I want to thank you for spending the time you're going to watch this together. Listen, I don't really have an agenda like we used to, when we had Haiti Biz News and we were, hitting the high notes of what was happening. We're going to talk about that for sure. Haiti Biz News in general. We're going to be talking about SeeJeanty Media. We're going to talk about hyper distribution, a couple of different things just to catch you guys up. Even though I'm not on screen dropping episodes where I'm taking the front, where, as you can see, the productivity hasn't necessarily slowed down. I'm sure you guys have seen we're still dropping videos certainly on that weekly schedule, and that's going to continue, right? And so we got a lot of stuff to talk about. But per usual, you already know it's a one-man show here. I got some stuff I got to do in the background, so hit that transmission video, which I'm going to play in just a moment. I updated that video. I swear to goodness, I updated it. When I took out the Haiti Biz News logo, put the SeeJeanty Media logo, and I'm looking all over my computer. I cannot find that darn thing. But so excuse me, even though it shows the Haiti Biz News logo on there, But nonetheless, I'll be right back. Give me about 2-3 minutes, and we'll start a conversation. All right, boom. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. We are live. We are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. We're on them. We're on all of them. Right. Welcome, welcome, folks. Today is the 11th of December, Saturday, and quite frankly, this is gonna be a short show. I just want to just pop on real quick, say what's up to folks, say what's up to everyone who been consistent followers, who just appreciate what we've got going on here at SeeJeanty, the content we're trying to put out, the conversation we're trying to control. We're trying to control the conversation, because at the end of the day, man, when Fox News, when CNN, when just the typical Haitian hater has control of the conversation, it affects us. It affects those who and I say affects, I mean really affects us. Affects so many other Haitians who the health, the mental well-being, when you know that you are who you were, right? And who you were is Haiti, right? If your mom's from there, your grandmother's from there, and I'm sure there is an Haitian who likes, whether they admit it or not, likes the situation that country is in right now, has been in for too long, and really wants us to get to the other side already. It's about time for us to get to the other side already. And we're just here to help shape that, because and I'm always appreciative of the comments that we have on our YouTube and everything, right? I mean, if we have 100 comments, 90% of those comments, they get it. 90% of those comments get what we're trying to do here and why we're trying to do it. When we show a Haitian business that's doing well, when we show really nice property that exists in the country, when we go to a touristic place, and show the beauty of our country, I appreciate the fact that the vast majority of folks, I get repost, I get folks in IG stories, direct DMs, folks say, yo, Chris, SeeJeanty, we appreciate this. Thank you for producing it. I needed this cup of coffee, this refreshment, to nourish my hope and my optimism, right? Because there's not too many places I get it. I always don't understand. I always misunderstand the last 5 to 10% of comments they're like, bon, pour ça me montre ça parce que bon Dieu prend bien, right? You're showing a nice home, but kidnapper à manger, right? And on and on. I guess bague sécurité, right? And that's not the point of what we're trying to show. What we're trying to show is that despite the incredible difficulties and the story du jour, that's happening in Haiti. Before it was, it's always something, right? And there's always something for someone to comment on, to say, aha, see, this is why Haiti is, aha, this is why, right? And the point is to show that there's still productivity happening in the country. There's still niceness that exists in the country. There's still they're still, I mean, they're still. And then you watch one of my videos, and you see that despite, the conditions, there's still people persevering, people pushing, working towards. I mean, and we are gonna wake up one day and see, Haiti is working, right? And it's going to be because of those people that I'm highlighting, those places that I'm highlighting. Because every home that you see that's nice there's a Haitian behind it, right? And that's the other thing, very crazy, insane comment is, those homes belong to, those bourgeois who are crushing the country. Well, I've met the vast majority of the owners of the places and homes and really nice places I've met, and no, they're as Haitian as you and me. Me. I mean, when I say Haitian, like they're dark skinned. Certainly you can certainly trace their lineage to some guy who's fighting right next to Dessalines, right? But they don't show themselves because of, unfortunately, that 10%. There is that very vocal 10% that get on and really just throw the most vile, vitriol negativity towards. And again, you just go to any one of my nice posts, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see that level of energy, shown at something that is nice, right? And if that bothers you so much, right, that you take time out your day to post, just because what I post isn't 99% of everything that's being posted about Haiti, go over there. That's what I don't understand. Like, go over there, right? Go over to where you'll see what affirms your worldview about our country, right? Go over there. There's no reason why you're over here and in our comments, messing up our vibe, messing up our optimism, messing up our work. Because everyone who's on this side of SeeJeanty, we're working. we're creating businesses. We're employing Haitians, right? We're moving our country forward in the direction it needs to go, while you're in the comments dropping what you're dropping, right? And that's what blows my mind. And what blows my mind too, I don't know, I'm not Dominican, and so maybe pero también para mí, if I was dropping Spanish and doing an all Dominican show, maybe there might be I could say there's a percentage of Dominicans who are always negative on Dominican Republic, and I'd be saying, y'all Dominicans need to go stay in New York and let us Dominicans in the Dominican Republic work, because we're working towards a better country. Maybe it's the same parallel. I don't know if there's any Dominican YouTubers who watch me and can correlate and relate to the experience I'm sharing right now. But the reason why I'm bringing up the Dominican Republic is because every time I mention Dominican Republic in any context, right, I guaranteed I get 5 to 10 Dominicans ready to fight. Like, you get 5 to 10 in the comments ready to go, yo, get Dominican Republic's name out your damn Haitian mouth. Here's why you're wrong, XYZ. Focus on your country, and stop. The energy, the pushback energy I get if you even mention or iterate any aspect of the Dominican Republic that you may not like. Not saying it's right or wrong, you just voice something. Anything that does not say Dominican Republic is the best country that ever existed on the face of the earth, anything that isn't in that context, you will get an army of Dominicans in your comments ready to punch you in the face, like ready to fight. And I mention that because I don't get that same energy when it comes to Haitians. Okay? I don't. I get the opposite. When it comes to Haiti, the biggest negative talkers after, the typical sources of Fox and CNN are other Haitians, right? And again, the situation in the country is such that we should not hide we certainly should put to light our problems in our country, right? And be working towards fixing it, right? But that's not the energy I get. The energy I get isn't that of, man, our country's in a tough spot, let's work. The energy I get is, Donald Trump energy coming out of Haitians. Like you have Haitians literally like, this is a shithole country, and this country, and it's terrible. No one should live there. Everyone should just, we should just, press, cut that half off, put in the water. And these are coming from Haitians. And it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing that it's hard for me to get that same defensive energy, because at the end of the day, we have our problems, but this is ours, right? And God willing, no one's going to ever take it from us. Yeah, we've been occupied, but no one's going to ever take it from us, right? And it's ours to fix. It's ours to get on top of and work and make it the better place, and not wait. Everyone who's waiting for that red carpet, waiting for that government to get in there and say, come on in, diaspora, you have everything you need. Now, I'm not saying go in there, be stupid. I'm not saying go there and put your life at risk, because we're not putting naivety out here to say, it's all rosy and candy pops here in Haiti. It's one of the most difficult environments to work in and work out of, for sure. But at the same time too, it's like, again, it's the mindset, it's the tone of which we speak about ourselves, speak of ourselves. It's the pathway forward. It's how we identify those issues that at the end of the day, SeeJeanty, no matter how busy I get, no matter what's going on, we're still going to be here. We're still going to be pushing. We're still going to be doing what we need to do to get over there, right? And then everyone who's a part of what we're doing here at SeeJeanty, everyone who understands that, everyone who's a part of the SeeJeanty private WhatsApp channel, who's honestly has been the lifeline of keeping the content going, because quite frankly, since I haven't been on front up front, the views have kind of tapered off, and also the funds from YouTube AdSense have kind of tapered down. That helps support the team, and so certainly the Patreon SeeJeanty private channel certainly has been the oxygen that's been keeping us moving forward. So hats off to anyone who's in the private WhatsApp channel and watching right now. You truly are allowing a new lane of energy, content, hope, to exist. Again, I've been doing this for some time, and there's a few social media folks who I appreciate very much, who really doing some great work. I'll shout out DJL, JL Universe. I hope I'm saying it right. JL Universe, who's really doing some real cool content. Creole. I want to shout out for sure Wilkins Toussaint, who's doing some really cool stuff, some real educative stuff. Of course, the guys over in Gundas. What is it called? Gundas. Paradis Gundas, something like that. Découvrir Gundas is doing some great work. I saw my homegirl, Life in Haiti, Mari, in the channel. What's up, sweetheart? I hope you're still watching, still here. Definitely, she's been doing some great stuff, showing the real streets of Haiti for quite some time. Who's been doing some great. Of course, when he's in the country, our boy, Haiti to the world. Oh man, help me out here, guys. Yeah, I feel bad as I cover it out the top of my head. You know who I'm talking about. Haiti to the world. Come on now, go on now. Haiti to the world. Come on now. You know who I'm talking about. Come on, I'm waiting for somebody to drop in the chat. I ain't moving until somebody reminds me. It's on the tip of my brain, man. It's so annoying. Philly Dom, thank you. Thank you, Willie Pierre. I wasn't moving until somebody told me. Of course, hats off to Philly Dom, who's been when he's in Haiti, always showing the real streets. But beyond that, it just hasn't been, there hasn't been really folks who have done what I've done, and that's not to curtail, or I'm not, I want more. I want more to replicate, right? I want a Casey Neistat of Haiti, right? Hell, I want a Mr. Beast of Haiti. I want more YouTubers, with different styles, with different energy, with different, levels of um, with different levels of styles, right? To really engage and show the country in the manner and light that the country deserves, right? And so, and that's honestly quite one thing that's fueling me to hurry up and get my situation settled here in Haiti, in America, with what I'm doing hybrid distribution. So I get back to it. I loved traveling to different cities and showing off, what those cities had to offer. I love going to the different hotels and different places all across the country. And there's so much I have not yet showed you guys. Like, I haven't been to Île Vache. I haven't been to Port-au-Prince. I haven't been to Mont Saint-Nicolas. Excuse me. You know what I'm talking about. I got to revisit Cap Haïtien, because when I visited last time, it was a great episode. That's what I proposed to my wife. And but it wasn't with the team I have now. So I got to get back to OCAP, right? Ilaguanav, haven't been there. There's so many smaller towns and cities that have their own. Just like I appreciated going to Ansavo, in the just bastion of history that existed in that little city, and seeing that and the amount of potential that still exists. So I look forward to getting back to it. Being the pseudo Anthony Bourdain of Haiti. I look look forward to getting back to it. But we'll just keep pushing. We'll keep pushing and doing it. So anyways, that, I believe it or not, was just all that talking was my intro. right off the cuff with it. Right. The usual stuff I say at the top of the hour. Of course, let me get to that usual stuff. Of course, c'est parti Creole from Jeanty ba la donne parce que puis le monde ka dit que ça qui passe là, il va y avoir un programme en Haïti qui parle en créole. And quite honestly, vérité à c'est que il y a plus respect pour créole là, c'est ça qui connecte nous tous. Et à finir m'gadou, et vérité à c'est que simplement faire l'anglais parce qu'il y a plus le monde qui franchement base même les haïtiens base c'est anglais, base yo puis préféré anglais que créole là. Et tout, et m'gadou fait programme ça parce que moi même comme de l'autre bois, États-Unis, a grandi l'autre bois, m'a jamais gagné un côté qui me ka prend information sur pays. Non, pas dire anglais c'est un langage qui me préféré, mais quand à l'école non langage. Quand tout le monde va bouler, quand acheter un bail c'est anglais. Et même pas en demi de temps c'est anglais va parler avec eux. Amis 90% même de tous les amis d'haïtiens c'est anglais va parler avec eux. Finalement et bon, quoi garder on suivi sur des informations. Il est préférable ou pas perdre rien même si c'est l'anglais là bien, enfin parce que c'est pas seulement même qu'on connaît qu'il y a combien de millions d'haïtiens qui vivent aux États-Unis, yo tout get si moun, yo tout a grandi ici. Et comme dit c'est l'autre bois et m'ba wrong, m'ba mal fait que composer et misiam dans anglais misiam ba moins haïtien en avim comme fait comme ça. Et en plus faut pas oublier à pile l'autre monde langage international yo quand y a regarder information sur pays nous c'est anglais yo prendre ko et qui ça relé et Vice News vient dans pays avec tout le monde qui productif qui a fait belle bail qui a avancé pays non mais il choisi pour interviewer barbecue comme un monde qui un monde d'intérêt par rapport à tout le monde qui était apprendre avec qui langage yo fait l'anglais bah ouais quel monde dans comment pour dire pour ça on a pays nous c'est encore la peine a fait parce que pour monde international et ka comprendre qui ça fait dans pays par rapport à vie yo dans même genre c'est pas un bail positif faut quitter un petit chemin en ligne que nous ka partager information ça qui a fait dans pays aussi en anglais pour l'autre monde tout ka comprendre ça qui passe dans pays so comprendre so c'est voilà si clairement ça bail m'a retourner reste là dans anglais mais regarde tout un petit bail m'a dit tout c'est que après parce que nous avons un canal qui est SeeJeanty en créole ou à suivre et tout bail l'autre bois c'est en créole net 100% lié même cas en vérité pour moi entrer dans discussion et puis bon preview notre discussion on va le faire aujourd'hui, c'est que on va commencer mélanger bail et afin de mélanger on va me mettre sous-titres encore. On va commencer ouais des content qui viennent sur canal là qui a pas en créole net. Et après bien raison pour ça m'a fin expliquer et comment c'est vraiment année qui venir on va voir que la plus créole dans canal là et m'a essayer éviter français parce que au moins majorité monde qui a suivre moi yo parle anglais et tout yo ont base en créole là même blanc qui on a plus blanc qui suivent nous là même yo ont base en créole là qui yo quand même comprendre so m'pas vraiment à tour loin même l'aime commencer permettre créole sur canal là sous épisode parce que je pense oui il est normal qu'il y ait plus monde qui ont intérêt et tout intérêt qui a cherché bail positif pour pays nous et oui yo connaît anglais et tout yo connaît créole aussi bien aussi on pour parler pour comprendre pour écouter excusez so c'est ça je vais commencer en détail sur ça mais il était branché et pour qu'à suivre et ça tout ça nous va dire. So all I said there again, guys, was just a quick disclaimer of why we doing what we're doing and why we do it in English. Again, nothing but respect for the Creole language. Just do it just so folks across the world can understand and get connected to what we're doing here and stay informed. So that's all. Just a quick recap. Just to let you guys know, of course, we do have a book that's out. You can check out it on the shop, SeeJeanty.com shop. 101 ways to make money in Haiti, lucrative business ideas, insightful success stories, and interesting business opportunities for visionary entrepreneurs. It's all on Amazon. I'm surprised. It's very humbling. And I want to appreciate everyone who's purchased the book, who's read the book, and who's left a review. We're a perfect 5 stars right now still on Amazon. And again, I don't know. I'm someone who, believe it or not, after the book was released, I haven't read it. I haven't even looked at the book. There's some artists that, are actors who, for example, they do a movie and they don't watch the movie. That's kind of how I am with that book. I did it. I put effort into it. I appreciate everyone who participated to give their commentary in terms of how they were moving forward in the business environment. But I haven't even looked at it because I'm such a perfectionist. It's hard. And I see the flaws of my work. It could have been better in so many different ways in my head. And it's painful for me to look at that book and open it really, and I say all this to say, I'm very self-conscious of especially when I'm doing, as any artist, when you put yourself out there and you're vulnerable, there's a vulnerability to it. There's nothing more I care about than business, Haiti, and helping others, right? And I wonder if I did a good enough job. And honestly, I don't know if I did. But when I look at the reviews and I see it's positive and I see it's still 5 stars, I'm like, wow. It's darn near tearful to know that you put something out there that means so much to you, and other people also have connected with it, learning from it, and appreciating and getting value from it enough so that they've all universally have given you 5 stars, and I'm like, wow, So thank you everyone who's checked out the book, everyone who's read it, who shared it, and listen to holiday season. It's a great purchase for someone, looking for something positive for Haiti. So just FYI, makes a great Christmas present. But again, all seriousness, thanks to everyone who has bought the book and has enjoyed it. I appreciate it for sure. Remember, check out the SeeJeanty Action Group. Do check that out. I dropped the channel in the links. Do take a look at that. The private WhatsApp group for sure. Remember, it's been honestly, what's kept, as I mentioned before, it's what's kept the, everything we have going on afloat. Honestly, the contributions, the monthly contributions that the folks who are in there, I mean, it's paying the payroll for the team right now. Which because we haven't been doing content at the level we've been doing it, AdSense has really plummeted. And that's it's really, if it wasn't for that, quite frankly, that's where SeeJeanty Media potentially may have been on an extended break, right? Because I wouldn't have the bandwidth, the capacity, the funds to keep us going. Given that, my focus and my time is currently with hyper distribution. But because of those contributions, the folks who are in there, I'm able to, the team is able to continue to work, continue to do great things, as you saw in terms of the recent videos we dropped. Have a really cool video coming out, hopefully this week, probably next week, where, we're going to do like, I guess I'll just tell you guys, we're going to do, because I've been recently in my office, I have a TV screen and I play a lot of ambient music. I play ambient video of different countries, Britain and England and Britain, England, the Caribbean, Europe, America, just different stuff, and it plays different, droning shots, and it goes on for hours, right? And I don't know, it's cool, to have that, and as you glance over, and it's sort of like watching a fishbowl. I'm like, man, I looked for something like that for Haiti, didn't see anything, right? I'm like, why, and so my team right now is going through, we have almost 2+ years of droning video, which you guys know of. And so we're putting together an ambient droning montage video, just like you guys have seen. So it can be passed and played in the background, at your home, at your workplace. We're going to have this 3-4 hour, just different shots of all across Haiti, and we're putting that together, and it's a lot of work for my videographer who's putting that together. So I think realistically it will be about 2 weeks left to get through all that content, and I look forward to even playing it and have it on loop in my office here. And that's what I mean when I say, that's what the SeeJeanty WhatsApp group and what the guys who are contributing are able to do is provide, is that we're still working, we're still thinking of how do we add value to the ecosystem of an image of Haiti that is positive and productive and hope inspiring, right? And so again, hats off. And again, it's not a one-way course of value. You're in the channel with 40, 50, no, sorry, not that much, 30-ish, 35, 30-ish, very highly productive people. Every person in there has projects or is working towards something that for the betterment of Haiti. The conversations in there are so inspiring. The conversations in there are so informative. I learned so much from there. And also I give myself my time, my connections, my network, my resources, my thought, folks who have hit me up my DMs asking me for questions. Hey, Chris, I got to love to have a conversation with you. Yeah, I'm too busy. I have too many people in my DMs. If I talk to every single one, I would never have any time to do anything. So I don't respond. But if you join the private WhatsApp group, you have my undivided attention. And on top of that, you're connected with a resource and network of other people doing great work who are also willing to step in and help you in every way they can, right? So think about joining. I dropped the link in the channel. I'll drop it one more time. Take a look at it. There's a monthly subscription. There's a yearly subscription that comes with a pretty decent discount. So think about it, and look forward to seeing you in the chat later, maybe, right? And of course, as ever, please share this. If you're watching this so far, you appreciate the conversation. Please share this. If you're watching this on YouTube, share it to a few contacts, a few people. If you're watching on Facebook, share it to a group or two, right? If you're on IG, right now, share it, DM it to a person or two who might appreciate the conversation, the tone we've had so far. Again, this is this side of the internets. We're here to work. We're here to share inspiration. We're here to share positivity. We're here to, be part of a solution, right? And anyone who you think would appreciate that energy, that vibe, invite them over here. They're invited to the barbecue, per the saying. They're invited to the barbecue. Come on in, come on over. Look forward to having it, right? So let's jump into our conversations we're going to have today, right? Our main topics. So the very first topic has to do with Haiti business news. And of course, those, I right away when, it was announced that, Haiti business news is taking a pause, so right away, I right away, I made a quick live. I was driving. You guys could check out the video. Just kind of explain folks what's what the skinny was, and so I want to take some time out today and kind of give an extended cut of that, and really get to the nitty gritty of it. But just a short nitty gritty, to be quite frank. It's just that Haiti biz news is still something that's gonna happen, right? Guys, I'm not someone who says something and doesn't follow through on it. In fact, Haiti biz news, the way we were doing it the past few months, I was talking about that for quite some time, and I was so happy to have been in a place where we were doing it, where we had a daily show format. We were providing news. We were cutting it professionally. We were focused. We were moved. We weren't anywhere near sensationalism. We were focused on the facts on the ground. What was happening in business? What was happening economically? What was happening developmentally in the country? And of course, when politics, as it always does, brushes and affects the economy, we came in and brought, okay, here's the facts, and let's move it on, and let's move it going, And oh yeah, by the way, let me before I go too deep here, let me put this banner on. Send me an email at SeeJeanty share. I'm going to be bringing some folks onto the live today, and give you guys a chance to ask questions, air your perspective, air anything you want, anything, any question you may have. I'm gonna invite you, send an email with your question, and I'll send you a link, and you'll be able to come on stage. And by the way, it won't be Instagram; it'll be for YouTube, Facebook. So you probably, when we get to that segment of the show, I'll close the IG, so everyone who's on IG can go over the YouTube and keep track of that part of the live stream. Okay, so the core of Haiti Biz News and our pause, relates. And I was again so happy that we had such a great run, and we had such really awesome hosts between Pierre, Stanley, Etienne, between Manushka, Veyard, and then of course our most recent host, Melissa Nader, who was fantastic. I so appreciated, their professionalism, their capacity. They each added something different, right? And honestly, quite frankly, in the iteration that will come, it will have perhaps even multiple hosts on screen so they can interact with each other. Maybe change our host every other day. One day it will be one person, another day will be just to kind of give a different flavor and perspective each time. But so there's two reasons fundamentally why the show is on pause. The first is, the quality that I wanted. We came pretty close, but there was just things that, it bothered me, right? The fact the sound quality wasn't necessarily where it could have been. And the reason is because, well, first and foremost, shout out to Tariq Muhammad. He's a true MVP, true warrior for Haiti. And what's crazy, Tariq he's not even Haitian. He's an African American who is on the ground, building a business to help Haitians. And I was honestly in his office during the worst of the gas crisis that was happening, where Matisson was shut down and no gas was coming to the country, and just seeing, like me, I'd be ready to tap out. As a Haitian with all my optimism, I'd be like, man, I'm pausing this business, but instead he had more fire in his eyes than I ever seen anyone have, and in fact, about a week later, because the building he was at, wasn't providing power because they didn't have power, but also just weren't really on it, and also wasn't allowing him to get solar panels and whatnot, in there. He found another spot and was in there, working, and moved his whole entire call center operation to this new spot. And I'm like, man, you talking about dogged resilience. I mean, this is a guy, man, you look up entrepreneur in the dictionary, you're going to see Tariq Muhammad in there, because he gets what it means to be an entrepreneur. The going gets tough, entrepreneur gets tougher, right? The odds are stacked against you. You get more crazier in your ambition. You get more set in the fact that, we're going to find a way, and so I mentioned all that to say we had moved to, his second office, because actually Melissa Nader particularly was actually an employee of Tyrick. That's why her English was so good, because you need really good English to work in the call center and the type of clients he has. And given the gas crisis, preferably would have wanted her to come to our office that has soundproofing and much better studio environment, and then go to work. But the reality was that given the gas situation, there was just no way. There was just no way. And so, us having the same attitude of we're going to get it done, we went to her workplace. So this way she was already there, and we would, shoot the episode, and then we would bounce after. Right. And so, yeah, that's why it was so noisy, was because, we had, it was just one long hallway, and we were there, and so, certain what's the word I'm looking for? Sacrifice, trade-offs, were done, but nonetheless the quality was affected, right? So that's one, right? We had to make some trade-offs to get the show, get her on the show, and so that's one. But that's not the major one. The major one, quite frankly, was the fact that our sponsorship ended. Right, our sponsorship, we had particularly with Valor Canez. Again, shout out to Valor Canez. They're a company that, I mean, they're on the forefront of accommodating the diaspora. Because you can order online and get your furniture and get your appliances shipped to them. They've been really appreciative of the work SeeJeanty we're trying to do here. There's a lot of big companies, and I know some of their folks watch the show. They've never reached out. They never showed appreciation, and they certainly haven't, put, some funding behind more content. But Valor Canez has been a consistent, positive force for us here. And I can tell you, a lot of folks, know that, if I was in any other country doing what I'm doing, I'd have, a lot different brands locally supporting what we're doing here. Nonetheless, I appreciate Valor Canez, and quite frankly, we still have a very close relationship. I mean, I can pick up the phone right now and say, hey, good contact, good friend of mine's, here's what we got going on. How can Valor Canez support? And Valor Canez would be like, what? Don't even worry about it, man. Just swing by the office. We got a check for you. Don't even worry about it. But the reality is officially our sponsorship ended, but I didn't feel comfortable going to them and asking them for additional funding, right? Because, give me 1 second. Quick message on the side. Quite frankly, I didn't feel comfortable going to them because the views aren't there, quite frankly. So that's the real issue. The brother issue is, maybe the third issue that connects to the second. The views weren't there, right? And of course, sticking to the second issue really quick, we didn't have any other sponsors. I mean, Hybrid Distribution was the sponsor, and of course, we did have a small silver of a hard budget Hybrid Distribution, which is my company, that was supporting the operation here, but it wasn't a sponsor in the truest sense. Going back to it, the views weren't there, right? We had I was put it like this. I was expecting, in my mind, because typically when we do a live or I do Haiti Biz News personally, I'm generally around 1,000 views an episode, right? And I was expecting Haiti Biz News to also be about 1,000 views an episode. We could never really crack 400 or 500, and a lot of times you were hovering around 200, 300. Now, those who really watch SeeJeanty long enough know, like, Chris, what are you talking about? When did you get so view focused? What is this? What kind of parallel universe are you talking about? Because everyone knows what I say. It's about the quality of the viewers, not the quantity of the viewers, right? Because a lot of folks, the first things they'll say is, man, for the work you're doing, Chris, every episode that you drop should be 100,000 views. I'm like, nah, I don't need 100,000 views. 100,000 views is typically a bunch of, folks who just are in there for the entertainment are the zen, are the negativity, and they're watching it and feeding off of it, because too many human beings, unfortunately, aren't in situations that are conducive to inspiring them. They're looking for the negativity to explain things to why their condition is the way it is. And so, and honestly, my 1,000 views of mine is equal to 10 to 20,000 views anywhere else. Honestly, and I know this because, for example, when we did the St. Louis du Sud episode, right? We raised $10,000. Yo, I'm gonna say it again. We raised $10,000 to get to watch to help the canal construction project get off the ground. And to this day, that there's channels with triple my viewership and couldn't get $10,000 raised. And I know, for example, so many folks I featured, like businesses I featured, they come back and say, Chris, yo, I got the biggest one-day sales I've gotten since starting my business because I was featured, right? Like, yo, your audience is about that life. Your audience is the real deal when it comes to looking for, Haitians who are doing well, businesses that are to support, and they stand behind them, man. Yo, your audience isn't for play, Chris. What? And so I mean that when I say we have been about quality here for a very long time, not about quantity, but nonetheless, right? The views were not to my expectations, right? And it's hard for me to go and look for sponsors for a program that, it's like ratings almost, right? Especially if we're doing a daily show, views are your ratings, right? And there's no show that's using resources to produce some content that doesn't use some parameter of eyeballs and engagement, and the views just weren't consistently there, right? So that's something we're gonna be thinking about. Like when we reboot Haiti Biz News, we're gonna start to be thinking about, like, what is it, is gonna be needed to get those views where we believe the views should be, right? And quite frankly, the short answer of it would have been, we know the answer. Chris, host this thing, man. What are you talking about? We're here for you. Come on now. Probably a few years later. But the reality is that the intent of Haiti Biz News is never, for me anyways, has never been for me to host it. Never. Right? It's to build it out so you guys are getting consistent information, having a team, a real journalistic entity behind it, right? That's providing you all information that's right. I don't want to say positive, but productive information you guys need to make the best movement as relates to however you want to engage in the country. And that's not going to involve me. I'll tell you that right now. Right. And so if it's not going to involve me and I want it to exist, how does it need to be? That I don't know. I know for sure I do want to start with, with the reboot. Number one, making sure that we we have the proper resources. We're in a proper studio, making sure that we have some of the best hosts that we can find, right? And then figuring out what the secret sauce would be, right? What is that secret sauce? Of course, and the host is a big part of it too. Finding that one host that just holds attention, right? That's a big part of the secret sauce, but then everything else involved too. And so we'll figure it out. When is the Haiti Biz News show going to reboot? When I can get that sort of backing, either personally out of my personal funds, or when we can put a set of sponsors together that can allow us to do it. So that's, I know a few folks were disappointed about it. I'm certainly disappointed about it. I enjoyed, what Haiti Biz News was doing, the information it was providing. Quite frankly, I'm so busy nowadays. It was my way of staying informed, quite honestly, especially when I was reviewing and editing the show notes each day. And then we were rewatching what was aired. It was how I was staying informed. I'll be honest with you. I'm a bit in the dark with what's going on nowadays, myself, because it's not on air anymore. But it is what it is. So that's as with Haiti Biz News. We will return. We will return. But what does that mean? Doesn't mean that SeeJeanty is So I think the part that was missed in the video I created right after that is really the most important part here, is that the resources that was going to Haiti Biz News, we're now redeploying it back to SeeJeanty Media, and the general type of content we were doing, we're going to go back to doubling down on that. Right now, it's not going to involve me. I got too much going on, which I'll talk about in a minute. But I'm giving my media team on the ground, a lot more creative bandwidth to create meaningful content in the same theme and spirit of what we've been doing here. And so I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see ultimately, what they're going to produce, right? And because my team on the ground, c'est bon haïtien, ça veut dire que c'est pas haïtien qui déplacé, qui vivent l'autre bois, finir retourner ici. C'est bon haïtien, ça veut dire que yo haïtien qui était là, qui connaît, c'est haïtien natif, on nous dit. Et langage nouveau vidéo, yo, c'est en Creole. Ooh, why did I try to make it sound legit, but then made it sound even more bad? Haïtien native en Creole. The content is going to be, in short, the content that's upcoming is going to be in Creole. It's going to be in Creole, because again, we don't have the bandwidth to add subtitles. I'm not going to be there necessarily to drive the English aspect of the interviews and things like that. And they're more comfortable. I don't want them to be so stuck on the English that the quality goes away and goes down. And so, just be ready, guys. It may be a shock to a lot of you guys who usually come here and do expect the English. And there is going to be a lot more Creole in this coming year, a lot more Creole on the channel, right? So, and that even, and I got to think about when I do decide to truly come back and return to the style that I enjoy participating in, I may have to think about what language I have to do in it, because, you guys may get used to Creole. I don't know, but so again, I'm just really excited, given that we are going to be doing more content, different style, but still engaged. And I'm giving my guys much more artistic freedom to really put their stamp on the channel. And they're going to get shout outs, by the way. I can let you guys know who my team is. Samzi Grafi is the pseudonym, right? And Peniel, those are my two camera / videographers / and those guys are going to be putting, and you'll be able to probably tell who dropped what, as time goes on. And so, I look forward. I'm so excited to really, give them consider more autonomy and put them in the position to, really excel. Right. So again, don't be down. Those who are down about SeeJeanty, take or Haiti Biz News. SeeJeanty Media itself isn't going away. Right. And again, those who may be concerned, those who may be nervous, those who really want to ensure SeeJeanty does have longevity and can endure, join the private WhatsApp channel. The private WhatsApp channel is what's really giving me the capacity, the confidence, the funds to keep this going, right? So, again, I dropped the link previously, right? And I can certainly find it one more time to drop it one more time. Let me scroll up here. But you'll find it, of course, on SeeJeanty.com, and then you'll see contact us at the top, and then you will see the let me see. Okay, there it is. I dropped it one more time. Okay. So that's the big chunk of news. Wanted to really take my time, discuss, and the future of SeeJeanty media. That's where we're going. We're going into more content, more innovative content. Where I'll give you an example where I've told my team, like, listen, let's go out, interview Madame Serra, right? Let's have a where we just interview their life, their day, a day in the life of the Madame Serra, where we track Madame Serra the whole day as she does her work. That's one idea, right? Let's have a day in the life of a tap driver, where we want to sit with a tap driver and follow him his whole day as he picks people up, drop them off, right? And we get his perspective, his risks, his fear. We get maybe a quick glimpse of his family, something like that, where we get real stories, real stories of real people, right? On top of that, just high level stuff of developments happening in the country, going on site, recording. So again, this is gonna be just a lot of really cool stuff that's gonna be happening. General, just stories about high level stories about tourism and how the country, how we can move forward and what the opportunities are. Narrative stories, well cut, well put together. So again, guys, don't fret. SeeJeanty is just getting started. We have so much we're gonna be doing, and it's again, when I say I'm excited, I'm legitimately excited about the new year. And so, certainly if you're watching this, it's your first time in here, do subscribe. Hit that big red button, YouTube, subscribe, and then put that notification button on. So when we're dropping this new content, you guys are watching. I know, that is dropped and you guys can watch, right? And again, those are on Instagram. Go over YouTube, SeeJeanty, and follow it, right? So that's that big chunk. And so the second bit of news I want to talk about relates to just me. Me. What have I been doing, right? And as you guys know, as I'm talking to you right now, I'm not in Haiti. Though I got a trip coming soon. I can say that. Can never be away from Haiti too long. And the reason why I'm away is because I have a venture, I have hyper distribution. We're bringing products from Haiti and selling them locally, right? And it's a venture that is diaspora backed. We've pooled almost $100,000 together, and we're doing this venture. I'm doing this venture, and it's been a fight. I tell you, it's again, entrepreneurship isn't for everyone. For real, entrepreneurship isn't for everyone. Like, entrepreneurship is, that's why I always say, like, I am not entrepreneur shaming anyone. There's people who entrepreneur shame. If you're not doing a business, if you're working for the man, you ain't nothing. No. I don't, I say this all the time. I wouldn't wish entrepreneurship on my worst enemy. Anyone who's started a business knows what I'm talking about, man. They understand my pain. That's why I say, sometimes the best thing you do is don't worry about entrepreneurship. Just make sure you're supporting Haitian business, man. Just make sure you're inconveniencing yourself to support Haitian business. Look on the internet, instead of buying something just on the Walmart, say, I'm pretty sure Haitian does this. Let me save my money. Let me drive an extra mile. Let me drive down to the next city. Make sure I buy it from this Haitian, make sure I do my research, whatever product comes from Haiti, that's, you're really impacted without the need of, going through the lifespan decreasing stress of starting your own business, right? And you're also helping someone who's running the business experiencing, the stress, right? So that's been where I've been at, right now, is just been pushing forward and trying to get that aspect, of it, and a great question. There's someone who just emailed. I'm not sure if you want to be on screen or not, but it's such a great question. I'm just gonna jump in and just repeat it. I want to ask. Remember, by the way, SeeJeanty share. Anyone who wants to be on the live, jump on. And by the way, we have a special guest in a bit, who's going to be on. Hopefully, actually, let me do something. Let me send something to that special guest just to kind of get them going. Because after this, after this little chat here, we're going to be transitioning to our phase of getting folks on and having conversations with them. Let me try to go ahead and send him that message. But the question this person asks is, can your team do more outside real life unscripted content? And I think that's what I just mentioned. Well, unscripted meaning just going out and no, nah, nah. And I think what you mean when the way I'm interpreting that question is, that question, it's sort of like just going out and just recording the real streets. And that's not my style. I mean, I love and appreciate that style, and honestly, there's been times I just play like Philly Dom, just walking the streets, but that's not my style. Everyone has their style, right? All right, sorry about that. Just making sure my invitee gets the link and is able to connect appropriately. That's just not my. Everyone has their style they stick to, and that's not my style. Even though I do have a series called Walking to Haiti and Driving in Haiti, and that's where you'll find that content very similarly, where I'm going around and um, um, just walking, right? But so it does exist. I did do it. I enjoy doing it. Maybe I might go back to having my team do it, perhaps. But I still rather them focus on other stuff first. Other more creative stuff first, right? But great question, by the way, to that person who asked it, and then also let me send that link just in case that person wants to be on screen and ask another question, perhaps. Where was I? Yeah. So where SeeJeanty's going, what I got going on, right? What I got going on, and in fact, I thought that question had related to maybe just showing what I have going on myself as I'm building this business, and as I'm building my business and showing that, for the same reason why I'm so self-conscious about my book. I think, as I mentioned, those who are watching the stream long enough and knowing how self-conscious I am about my book, I'm very self-conscious about my business. I'm really putting work in, and of course, at some point, I'll do a day in the life and show you guys, where we're at and how far we've gotten, and what entails the day to day. But right now, I'm so down to the, what's that expression? Grinding, I guess. It's just, it doesn't make sense. Number one. Number two, quite frankly, all my equipment is in Haiti. Second off, all my media equipment is in Haiti. I got nothing. The few videos I've done where I've shown the warehouse here, you guys can see the warehouse in the channel. It's been with my phone, the same phone I'm doing IG with. It's been with my phone. I have no equipment here, and I've made pretty large investments in my equipment that I have in Haiti. I don't want to reinvest anything right now to have a duplicate set of equipment here in America, at least not yet, at least not right now. And so that's the other thing that's sort of preventing that from happening right now. But anyways, great question and relevant to what I was saying. And so, but no, hyper distribution, we're making progress. If you go to the website, you can see the products we're offering. You can see the stores. We're in 25, pushing in 30 stores all across South Florida. We got Haitian products. I mean, a lot of the places where we've gone to, we're the first. It's the first time that they've gotten made in Haiti products on their shelves. Can you imagine? Right? A lot of these places, it's been years since they've had direct from Haiti made in Haiti products. Right? In the shelves. Right? It's crazy. It's crazy, right? Right. And you know, there's Jamaican aisles. There's aisles that support Jamaica. Most stores have a Jamaican aisle, and you go to Jamaican aisles. There's a whole bunch of stuff coming out of Jamaica, made in Jamaica, right? But there isn't anything from Haiti, even though they have probably 2 to 3 times more Haitians buying from them, because there's not Haitians in South Florida, you know. But yet there's Jamaican aisles. There isn't a Haitian aisle. There should be a Haitian aisle, but there isn't, right? And that's not because and when I come and I show them the products we're selling, they're on it. They're like, oh, what coffee, what honey, oh, what like black castor oil. They know these products. And by the way, a lot of these guys are Latinos, Spanish, right? But they know these products because they know their Haitians are asking for these products, but they couldn't get them, right? Slam dunk every time I go in the store, you know, and they see who I am, they see what the business is about. Slam dunk. You know, we're getting into these stores, slam dunk, right? Right? Slam dunk, right? Slam dunk, right? Right? And so it's I know what we're doing here business wise is impacting. It's impactful, right? It's doing something to the ecosystem of the business environment, and Haitians are benefiting here. And the best part too is Haitian businesses are benefiting, and Haitian people, the jobs that these companies that I'm buying from, they're being supported, right? And we're moving the country forward in a way charity can't provide you. In a way that when something negative happens and you say, hope and pray for Haiti, pray for Haiti. Come on, man. We've been praying for 200 years now. We've been praying for 200 years, man. Right? You want to do like that boxer to this date. To this date. To this date. Right? It hasn't done much. But we should do something we haven't tried yet, which is genuinely economically support those in the island, and by connecting with companies and getting their products to a larger market. And a lot of folks have thought about doing that. I know of quite a few folks who have different iterations of that, but capitalism works really when groups of people put and pool their funds together, right? To diversify risk, number one, right? And provide much, capital to do something that without that capital would be impossible to difficult to do. That's the way capitalism works. It's literally the pooling of. I know there's this negativity. There's this perspective. Capitalism is the root of all evil. George Soros and Bill Gates and the Illuminati and the Rockefeller Group. Capitalism. I get it. Yeah, I get it. There's that side. But the way capitalism could be used to help us is us Haitians working together, pulling our funds together, right? And doing impactful things that we know would grow and help our country, like buying from Haitian producers that are employing Haitians and connecting the larger markets with those pooled resources, right? That's cheat coding a system that you may feel is doing wrong, but it's doing wrong because there's none of us involved to do right, right? And that's what hyper distribution is what it's been doing. And that's what, and I know recently I did put a post about a long-time supporter, and that supporter was saying, basically, gosh, I don't want to mischaracterize her comment. So let me try to find it. This supporter, I appreciate her very much. She's someone who's been, a part of SeeJeanty community for a while, and I always appreciate the messages that she sends. And by the way, I read a good chunk, almost all of these comments that you guys drop, by the way. So I may not respond, but I certainly read them. And that's why in the beginning of the stream, I was talking about the negative, the 10% negative, who are always consistently, providing that negativity, which is crazy. Of course, you guys can go back and watch that. Where is that? Let me try to find it. It's really important I find it because I really want to make sure I don't mischaracterize what she had wrote. Though I don't see it. I hope she didn't delete it. Hope she didn't delete it. Oh, haven't responded. There's a filter on there. Okay. I still don't see it. I guess I just have to do this off memory then. I don't see it. May have to do this off memory. Ooh. Well, to do it off memory, right? What I recollect is, I'm in the wrong video. That's why. So just do it off memory. I know you guys are going, come on, Chris, get to the point. To do it off memory, well, quite frankly, I don't really remember exactly. Man, I don't see it. Ain't that something? Wait a minute. I'm gonna try one more thing, and then I'll really try to paraphrase what I remember. Okay, found it, guys. Found it. And basically, basically, her perspective was that, I guess, my intention. What was my intention? Was my intention not to produce, stick to my media niche and produce content to help drive everything that I've talked about, right? Isn't that not the priority? Why am I stopping? Basically pulling back from this niche that no one else is doing, and no one is doing at this level, right? No one is doing at this consistency, right? And again, I want to throw, I don't want folks to think, oh, you're throwing shade at someone. We say you're doing this level. You must think, no, but legitimately, guys, I have a team of media people. We have really expensive media equipment, right? And we're cutting and editing in a way that, no one else is doing. You guys have to admit that, right? The only person that even comes close to the truly, aggressive, darn near professional, because he is a professional style of editing as we try to do here, is JL Universe. So I just want to preface, I'm not throwing shade at anybody. I love anyone who's doing anything positive about Haiti, and I already mentioned who are the folks I respect in the game doing well, right? So why this person was saying, stay in that niche, Chris, move in that niche and really escalate it, right? But what my response is, and anyone who's been watching me long enough should know that, listen, I'm not a media personality. I've said this. I'm not a media personality. I don't want to be a media personality. I don't do this for the clout. I don't do this for the views. I really don't. The views, Haiti Biz News comments aside, it being an exception given the context, but I don't do it for the views. I don't do it for the subscriber count, right? As I go around my day and I meet somebody on the street and they go, hey, oh, wait, those do a double take. Wait, they go, whoa, wait a minute. SeeJeanty, hey, man. Yo, I appreciate those moments. I really do. I really appreciate those moments. If you ever see me anywhere, do come over and say what's up. I appreciate it. I'm not a big shot, Hollywood star that, oh my God, I was just watching a meme clip where Jay-Z was in Paris at the Louvre, and he was walking to the Louvre. Of course, he had his entourage, security, no pictures, please, no pictures. And then some Frenchman was just like, hey, who are you? And Jay-Z walks by, sizes him up, says, who are you? Keeps walking. Right? I'm not Jay-Z at that level of interaction with people. I'm certainly still, you see me, you recognize me, say what's up, but that's not why I do it. I don't do it for those moments either, right? I do it because there is a responsibility for every single Haitian to control our narrative and how we see ourselves, right? We have that responsibility, right? And I see some folks in my lobby right now. So I'm gonna wrap up. I'm gonna wrap this up. I know, the folks I have coming up, their time is precious. So I want to wrap up with hyper distribution. 5 more minutes, guys. Bear with me. Gosh, what was I? Oh yeah. So I was commenting about the comment, and so I'm an entrepreneur first, right? And even when all the time I've been doing SeeJeanty Media, I always had businesses I've been operating. And in fact, SeeJeanty Media actually did go on a break for over 6 months. When I first started it, I took a hard 6-month break, didn't do any content because my business came first at the time, the business I was working on, and it still exists, still doing well. And I took a hard break. The priority will always be my business ventures because I'm an entrepreneur first. I do not advocate for entrepreneurship from on the sidelines. I advocate for entrepreneurship amongst Haitians, for Haitians. I'm on the field. I am behind center, hiking the ball, right? Taking 3 steps back and tossing it to other entrepreneurs, right? I'm on the field in the game, right? And then the media is really me coming to the sideline and providing commentary, right? But if something is going to prevent me from playing the game of entrepreneurship, I'm not going to go to the sideline. I'm not going to do media, right? I'll come back to media because that is important, but my entrepreneurship is always going to take that priority, right? And so that was my response to, the commenter who I respect tremendously. And I hope it illuminated that perspective for a lot of you guys who may be like, man, Chris, I really wish you could stay focused on the media. Just do the media. I want to see more content. I want to see you on screen. But that's just not why I'm in the game. That's just not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this for different reasons, and yes, once those things kind of, get stable and I build it, because I'm an infrastructure builder. Like, I don't build things so I can always be there. No, I build things so I can find the right people, build them up, and put them in those positions so I can take a step back and the machine that exists can keep going. I mean, that's why I'm in the States right now, and my businesses are functioning. I go 2-3 weeks, I don't know what's happening in my business. Like, I have no clue. I have 2-3 businesses that are operating right now. I have no clue what's happening, right? I get a report, 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in. Oh, okay, good. We're making money. Good. Everyone's showing up for work. Everything's happening the way it's supposed to. Good. That's how I build businesses, right? I build them in a way where I can tête fouette, femmes and they're operating. And hyper distribution is going to get there too, right? It just, in the beginning, I'm also very hands-on. I know every intricacy of my businesses, and I place people and I build processes to ensure every piece, there is no point of failure, right? And that's kind of where we're at right now, because this is my largest venture to date. And on top of that, this is a venture where this is my capital. It's other people's capital. I am doubly, triply on it to make sure this thing is wildly successful for everyone involved, right? So that's where we're at. That's a quick update. Hyper distribution, we're still pushing. We're still moving forward. For those who want to support hyper distribution, we're always looking for additional retailers, additional folks because remember, we're a wholesaler. So we sell things in bulk. And those who want to resell locally, wherever they are, in their, amongst their network, amongst their friends, we sell at just rock bottom prices. You can add another $2-3 on whatever you buy from us. You can resell it amongst the people we ship to everywhere and anywhere. We ship to Canada and America. So if you're interested, do send a info at Hypro Solutions. Visit our website. Our website is, I'm gonna grab the website for you, hyperdistribution.com, but I just want to drop the link real quick. Just copy paste it easy. Drop it, boom. Visit hyperdistribution.com. You stick with the products. We'll get it mailed to you. We're on Amazon. For those who don't even want to buy retail, wholesale, they want to just buy 1 or 2 products just to consume. And a lot of folks who are asking, just Chris, I don't want to buy wholesale. I want to just consume 1, 2 just for myself. We went ahead and did some Amazon. We did some Amazon pages, and we're on Etsy. And our products are there, and so you can buy individually at retail prices, though. But you can buy things individually there. And so just spread the word. What we're doing. If you want to, you don't have to be an entrepreneur, but supporting entrepreneurs is really a great way to go about it. And quite frankly, too, listen, anyone who, our second round of funding is reopened. So anyone who watched initially and saw from the very beginning how I did an episode where we went down to the business model and I had a few folks who reached out and invested. And we're looking to probably very soon get a second round of investment going, because there's a lot of things we want to do here stateside, from buying trucks, delivery trucks, from buying forklifts, right? There's a lot of things that there's still opportunity. As I mentioned, this is something we're pooling our funds together and doing something impactful. And so there's still opportunity for you to come on the ground floor, and it's not I had a few folks who are like, Chris, yeah, I want to invest, but let's start the business first, get it going, get some traction. Let me know, is this really viable before? I don't want to be a first mover. But I would be a second mover, and I can tell you, honestly, there is tremendous opportunity in what we're doing right now. Quite frankly, I don't know if I should even announce it, but listen, we're about to have a $10,000 revenue month this month. I'm going to say it again. We're about to bring $10,000 in revenue this month. What? Right? And this is really our third month of operation, and we're pushing $10,000, right? So again, reach out again, same email. Those who want, an information deck and potentially want to get in and find out what a price for a share is and all that, feel free, info@hyper.solutions. So there's different ways to engage with what we got. You can be a wholesaler, buy wholesale, make some money, flip it, or you can just consume the product. Go to Amazon, and buy our product, consume it, be happy. Or if you really want to get on the ground floor and become, be a soldier in this fight, you can be an investor too, right? So a lot of 3 different ways to engage. And again, we'll, I in a couple months, I'll probably do a series as we get stable and show you what we've done and how far we've gotten and a day in the life. So that's going to be coming. But for now, we're just pushing and growing and making it done, right? All right. So we're going to start getting some guests on stage. I want to, again, anyone who has a question, who wants to also be out here, make sure it's SeeJeanty@gmail.com. Send me a message and we'll get you, send me a question, send me a message. We'll send the link to you. And we'll get you on here. I'm closing the Instagram. Those who are on Instagram right now, seriously, go to youtube.com and then put SeeJeanty to watch the live stream. That's where we're going to have the rest of the show. Okay. So go over there and we're about to close it because we're about to bring people on. You won't be able to see it. It's going to be really weird. Right. So we're going to close it. So again, thanks IG people, right? Get over to Facebook and YouTube or whatever. All right. Peace. All right. I just closed our IG. And now, without much further ado, let me give a few words about the person who's coming on. He's someone I have tremendous respect for. He's someone that, man, I've lived a storied life, where I've lived in Chicago and I lived for a while in France and I lived in Switzerland and, of course, coming back to Florida and then living in Haiti, for as long as I have. I thought I lived a storied life, but no, this guy has, lived in China, lived in Taiwan, right? He's been like on the equivalent of America's Got Talent, singing in Chinese, not even just singing but singing in Chinese or, Mandarin, I guess, I'm sure you'll correct me when he gets on. And then, and now he's doing some great things in Dominican Republic. And even before, he was, doing things by connecting folks between China, Taiwan, with Haiti and the world. And so when you talk about an entrepreneur, right, and someone who's interesting as heck, the person I'm bringing on is that. I'm really excited to have him on for this conversation. And actually, this is really the second time he's been on SeeJeanty Media. We did a Haiti Biz News. It's the only time I actually did that, where I did a Haiti Biz News and he came on and gave some context on stories that was happening. But in any case, without further ado, I want to bring on Marcus Bo. in the house.
What's up,
Marcus Bo
brother?
in the
What's
house.
up? What's up? How are you, brother?
Yo, it's good to have you
It is good
on
to
here,
be
man.
here.
It's really good to I know you're running and gunning and doing a million different things,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. It's been crazy. But you know what? Before I even start, I would like to, I don't know if you remember, man. We were supposed to do. You were supposed to come to our office in Haiti. That's when I moved to DR. It's literally that time when, in I think beginning of 2020, where we were supposed to come to the office, and then I'm here in DR. It's been a year and some months. Man, a lot of things that happened in that few little time, and I'm very happy to come here and share of the some of the work that we've been doing here.
Nice, nice. So before I even get started, I gave you a little bit of an intro, but I'm sure there's gaps. I'm sure there's a way you probably, usually introduce yourself. So please let me give you the floor, give you a few minutes, and please let folks who are unfortunately ignorant of how awesome you are, let them know, man. What you got go? Who is Marcus Boat?
Marcus is, a young entrepreneur, man. As I always say, I didn't start by being an entrepreneur. I was first, a student, and I went to Taiwan where I lived for 7 years, and then I went also on being the director of facilitation of investment, where I worked for the Haitian administration, public administration, for 5 years, and then later I won another scholarship. The reason why I moved to Taiwan is because I won a scholarship to do my bachelor, and then later I won another scholarship to move to mainland China this time, where I did my master's degree in international trade. So my background has always been international business and also investment facilitation. This is something that I've always liked to do. And someone that is, I guess, always there of trying new things, and I always put myself in a situation where like, oh, this is new for me and I'm gonna do it. And I feel like that's one thing that can describe me as a person. And then now I left China without leaving China because of COVID. I went to Haiti just to spend a few months, and then COVID hit. I lived in Asia for 12 years, and I feel like now, being in the West Side, it was a time for me to readjust and really learn how things work here because I've lived for so long. So that's why I'm here right now. So I have two companies. One is iMore Business Group, where we facilitate business between the Caribbean and China. We help people do the whole sourcing, quality inspection, logistics, custom clearance when they buy with China. And something that another company that I literally opened officially 3 months ago, which is IMR Ventures, a company that creates and facilitates business opportunities for people who wants to establish real estate in Dominican Republic. So that's basically what I do.
And I got some comments. His company shipped 2 generators for me from China. So there's folks who know you here, who you've worked with, who can attest to
Nice.
your business and the customer service and your execution capacity. So that's what's up.
Yeah, yeah. I always say I feel like the thing with my business, it's always been good. The fact that I have this background of Asia, I feel like in Asia it's really different. It's another discipline. It's another way of doing things. So I feel like that's one of the advantage that we have when it comes to the work that we're doing in the West, because I feel like it's a good mix of the West and the East. And I think it really speaks for itself. And the little time that we've been in the market, I'm very proud to see how we have created the brand, and we could be able to we were able to connect with the people as well.
What I'm curious to know is language. How do you pick up? Because you speak. Please break all the languages you speak. First off,
Eight.
8 languages, guys. What are the 8? What are they?
This is a question that I get all the time. Creole. Parle Creole, qui c'est langue pas moi. I think that's how I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say a few words in each of them.
English language, please.
Um, you know, and French has, grew up in Haiti. I went to school in Haiti, so
Yes, sure.
he speaks French. Moi, je parle français. Tu parles français aussi, Chris?
Comme ci, comme ça.
Comme ça, okay, good. And English. I learned English when I moved to Asia because I never liked English before. Spanish, I learned it through telenovelas. Toujours dit comme ça, c'est pour ça m'apprendre par l'espagnol. Portuguese, then I took classes. I took classes when I was working in Haiti as a director of facilitation, because just like I said, I always believe in preparing myself so I can be more competitive in the work world. and Mandarin, obviously, because I live in China for 12 years, and also Taiwanese because I was in Taiwan for 7, and I also took Italian classes, which make the 8 one.
8 Italian, 8. No, but you did mention Spanish. Okay, good.
Yeah,
so that's 8. Man, good. And it's not even just like Bicky. No, he's dropping that. No. I saw you on that last week or 2 weeks ago. You were on the Spanish TV show, and you just también para mí. That's how I know. I always say también para mí.
And I feel like it was a shock for people because I don't think people knew that I could speak Spanish. So people were like, "Oh, I didn't know you speak Spanish." I was like, "Yeah." When I told you that I speak them.
But how do you go about? Is you just inherently just I can learn it, or is there a particular process that you do?
Because for me, when I realized that I wanted to study international business and understand the background of the person that do international business, I know
have a language.
Language was key, because I know my thing would be to interact with people coming from all over the world and having the know, because when you speak a language, this is the first connection that you have with someone. And I saw it when I was in China. The fact that I could speak Chinese, I was able to connect better with the Chinese. And also, if I can speak French, when we go to the Canton Fair, we find French speaking people, and then I switch into French, like bonjour, ça va, est-ce que je peux vous aider? It's an instant connection. So I understood it, and that's why I went to spend time and really, get my base and learning these languages, because I know it was going to be very hard in my
I question my capacity to even speak English most of the time, much less. But I get it. Yeah, once you have one language comprehended, for example, I can read and comprehend mostly Spanish relatively well because it's so similar to French. Even German I can kind of get through. So as you learn one language, you're able to learn other languages quickly. That's the paradox is as you learn more language, you can learn more, you understand more, so that's cool. Marcus, tell us about your recent project. That's one reason I wanted you to come on today and say a few words, because you're doing some incredible things in real estate.
Thank you.
Some incredible things on the other side of Hispaniola there. You just wrapped up a massive summit. Break it down, brother. What's going on over there? Let them know.
Before I even get into the summit, I wanted to really tell people how I started in this. Just like I said, I had my main business, IMAR Business Group. I'm doing import-export with China. And then I arrived to DR, COVID, and then I started seeing a lot of people. There was a lot of Haitian coming into DR to invest in real estate. And one of my friends, told me, you should check it out. And I did. But to be honest, I kept it secret. I was like, just like our Haitian do, what for investissement, nobody should know about it. And one of my projects, and the Dominican president shows his support, and l'Ital mette première pierre sur projet. And I felt like it was so cool because it gave so much value to the project. It shows how the president is supporting the real estate sector. And the moment that he went on doing the first Picasso, projet a littéralement get a 50% value, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. But if you buy something for 100, it's already 115 in the market. I was like, wow. So I decided to share this journey on my story on social media, which I always receive a lot of there's a lot of tracks in my stories. And obviously I tell people, wow, I'm very happy that one of my projects, listen, it's already getting some value, and then that the president is really supporting the real estate industry here. So I started receiving so many questions, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do a Zoom. Then I decided to do a Zoom on May 1st. I would never forget. I remember I was nervous as hell. I was like, you know what, I don't know what this guy is doing right now. I did a flyer, with my picture. I was like, real estate summit opportunities and not real estate opportunities at DR. And man, I had 100 people that tuned in that morning in the Zoom. I did it at 10 a.m. I think the best thing that we did was collecting everybody's phone number, and then we created a WhatsApp group. And I still remember telling them, you know what, I'm not an expert in real estate. I'm just here to share my journey with you, to share, because I know there's so many there's so many things that you probably have in your mind that you've been hearing about, like the way that Haitian would be treated here, the way that that we don't have access to privileges, like so many things that I know even for me that I've heard, like even before coming to the earth, and this is not true. I'm here. I was able in a year to make connection. I was able in a year to open my third office in the earth. In a year, I was able to get some loans from banks. Literally, I had like 3 banks waiting for me to give me loan. I feel like these are type of information that people don't have because they just think that we don't have access to this. And I feel like for me, I tell them, you know what? When they saw me when I arrived here, I didn't know anybody. I was doing live on Instagram during COVID because I didn't know how to cook. I didn't know anybody here. So I felt like I was like, you know what? I'm doing this to show you guys how it happened for me. And if you have any question, and come and I'll be able to help you. And man, literally it happened, man. So we did that Zoom, we created the WhatsApp group, and so many questions I was able to answer, and people that were very satisfied. And I realized that there were so many people that wanted to come into the art to invest. And I always tell people, like, the idea is not to tell people, leave wherever you are and come to invest in the art, but also to diversify your portfolio. That's what we want to focus in right now. You are in the US. If you can have something in here in Dominican Republic that can give you a 12 to 15% of revenue, why not? You know what I mean? And so that's the idea, and I'm so glad that everybody that were on board, they understood the vision that I had with this. It's not say like Haiti is not good, but we know Haiti is in crisis. But also we cannot wait for Haiti to get better tomorrow. So the idea, what I see in the vision is like the same thing that happened in Nigeria and Thailand and Dubai, and we see it right now and mostly in Africa, where we had so many people that left Africa, went to the US, they empowered themselves, they got rich, and now they're going back to build, Nigeria, Ghana. So that's how I see for Haiti, because we have to build that generational wealth where people can be, can think outside of the box and see that they can work on themselves by the time they wait for Haiti to get better.
Yes.
So that's how I see it, right?
Yeah.
So in this way, man, we've created the group chat. So many people, and man, and in less than 6 months, we helped more than 120. We've sold 120 properties. And man, we just had the summit last weekend. I was blown away to that. We had like $9.5 million sales in 2 days. It was
USD, huh? USD.
USD, my friend, USD. So people, they came, man, it was crazy. And I feel like this is something also that shows the importance of the Haitian economy, the importance of Haitian that have money. And I heard among the exhibitors, they usually have so many fairs like this, but we had a record of sales for these 2 days. So I think it gives me so much pride and joy to see that we were able to show as well the power of the Haitian economy, the power of our people, and the more we do so, it's the more that we're gonna have some more weight on the table. It's the more that we can have. We can be part of the conversation because people are aware of what we're capable of. So that's what I'm happy with this work that I'm doing here, and also to see that everybody that were on board with me during the summit and during this 6 months, they understood the vision behind this project, and I'm so happy that we were able to have such great results in such short period of time.
9.5 million.
But the what I say, the lesson behind this is like, and this is what I want to share. If I've kept this little investment that I did private, I wouldn't be here now with this group. So the idea is every time you have the time to put some light on someone else's life, do it, because if you're helping one person, if you're taking that person into and you're putting into light, it's like you're bringing 10, 20 people with them. So that's the power of bringing light to others' life. And I feel like I'm very glad that I was able to do that, and to have so many people now joining as a force to keep on doing that work.
So it was in Punta Cana in
It was
person. It wasn't yeah.
yes.
And so how many folks would you
We
estimate were in attendance?
we had like a 60 participant.
Nice.
But the whole concept was so new, and I was
Right.
so nervous about it. Like Chris, it's really this weekend, and I'm chill. Because people had to pay to participate. They had to pay 1,500 to participate, but the concept was a fly and buy, meaning that if someone come and purchase during this weekend, we're gonna deduct. They're gonna have a credit on the house that they're purchasing. So that's why we had so many sales, because people were like, you know what, that 1,500 that I'm paying right now,
Yeah.
it can be credited in the house that I'm purchasing in Punta Cana. So when I see me pedi l'argent, and I saw in the face of one of our clients, he bought a condo for 260, and they discounted that 1,500. He was so happy. He was like, so dis là, c'est passé là. Il me dit, yo retiré $1,600. Il dit, oh, c'était vrai. So but many was beautiful, because I feel like that's why the public that we've targeted, they were people that was really interested about real estate. We could see that as well in the Q&A section, where like they were very knowledgeable about it. And the idea, let me explain to you how it works, Chris. We brought all the actors of the real estate industry into one place. We had the lawyers that that were there to explain people the legal framework, because we know people have so many questions, they have so many things in their head. Like, if I buy today, est-ce que va voler kaila? Est-ce que Dominique va venir mettre dehors et demain là? So many things in terms of legal. So the lawyer, that was the very first presentation that we had. We also have partnered with Scotia Bank for anything mortgage loan and bank account application. So the bank was there explaining to people, okay, how do I open a bank account here? What are the documents that I need? And we have received all these documents prior, so we've sent to our participants, so they were able to know, okay, this is how the credit score works. And if I'm from Haiti, yes, I'm eligible to have a mortgage loan. And also they have given us like a very preferential rate of 3.75% with Scotia that we work for the fair, where in DR it's usually a 6 to 8%. So it was really, really good that people were at ease to do those investments. Then later we have anything about like the property management, because these people, they're not buying in DR to just stay in DR. These people are making investments. So the property management were there to explain to them, okay, what is the AOI, like how does it work, all the fees. And then later we had a financial advisor explaining to them, okay, where is best? Is it in Santo Domingo? Is it in Punta Cana? Understand the occupancy.
You there, Marcus?
I think the
kind of breaking up there a little bit. Marcus, you there?
Can you hear me?
You breaking up a little bit. I hear like one word and then it's breaking up.
I see it's
breaking up there. Marcus was saying some really great stuff there. Let's give him a minute. That's some great follow-up questions for him. Wow. Oh, I see Marcy's movement there. I'm seeing you move. It's clearing up. It's getting better. Okay, there you go. Yeah. All right. Okay. You're back. Okay.
Perfect. Okay. So, and then we also had like only 5 construction companies. I think that was one of the good thing about the summit. People weren't like, lost about so many projects in Punta Cana, so many projects in Santo Domingo, because we do due diligence on what is selling well, on what has premium location. I feel like people, they were able to just like dive into the experience and really receive premium information. And man, I'm so glad that like everybody like give us great comments, the exhibitors. And I feel like this weekend we're gonna be in all the media, because We had the media of Dominican Republic were there as well. So yeah, I'm very happy that that little experience that it was very daring of me, because I'm sure the people they were part of it. It was like, oh, this guy is not a real tour, but he's doing a summit. You see what I mean?
Who is this guy?
I'm glad that I could have just think of that format, which was super new and Punta Cana, and just like did something that was truly magical. And
I like the pre warm up or the pre videos you were doing. Like, oh, this is nice. So you're in your car, stepping out the car, walking to the hotel. Like, yo, this is dope. Yo,
I know. I'm sure this has helped a lot. This has helped a lot. And man, like I told you, like the whole concept was very new, and I'm glad that people were on board. And just I feel like we had one experience with one client. It shows it, and for me, I wanted to share this, where like we said we were gonna do this, and this guy did this. It was three of them. They said, you know what? We've heard so many things about DR, but can we give a 50% of the participation fees? And when we get to Punta Cana, we're gonna give the other 50%. Because why? Because I feel like people are very skeptical when it comes to information they're receiving online. And I was like, you know what? Yes, please do so. It's just like to make if this would make you feel comfortable to just come and see that what we're doing is something real, just do it, because I can understand why would you doubt about it. So and for me, when I saw a case like this and how we were able to make the process easy for them, and they came to the summit, they bought property for $250,000. But you see, sometimes you also have to be very flexible, understand where does this fear come from, and really embrace them and work the journey with the client.
Nice. Now I'm gonna get a little Company Devon, we might give you some Larry. Because I already saw a comment in there, oh, this is good, but it's on the other side, right? Right. So what have you? I'm sure there's been a detractor or two who are saying, yeah, it's great, it's DR, it's great, but it's DR. Why Haiti? Why can't it would be great, but it would be so much better for. So what do you say to those folks who are really giving you shallots, saying that you're in DR, you're building them up? What about how do you? I'm sure you responded already. How have you responded to that?
Yeah, and I think like for me, if someone has been really following my journey, I don't think they give me chalet, but they just hope that I could do the same work for Haiti. Because if someone had known me enough, they know that I worked for 5 years as a director of facilitation of investment for Haiti, where I was like mostly behind, from 2014 to 2014 to almost 2019, I was behind the foreign investment that was happening in Haiti.
Is that CFI or another organization?
CFI.
Oh,
I was the director
of
at CFI, where my focus were to attract the Chinese and Asian investment in general to Haiti. All the Koreans that were in Caracol, some of the Koreans that were in the industrial zone. So I was part of the work with these companies. So they know that my energy for Haiti would never change. But the idea is they would feel like, okay, they wish that this could be the same energy that worked for Haiti. But they have to, just like I said in the beginning, have to understand that we cannot wait for the country to get better. You know what I mean? The idea is empowering myself. When I left CFI and now, the moment that I created IMA, and now I have already empowered myself, so I will have I will have a higher voice when it comes to me sitting on a table. So that's what I want. That's why I want people to get from this. Like this work that we're doing with this Haitian is for them to diversify their portfolio, to let them understand that they can come to DR, they can invest, because they're not coming here to just like stay. They're coming here to invest, and they are gonna be better off in the future. These folks, they're gonna be part of that change that we're gonna see in Haiti in a few years. And just like I told you, my example, what I have in my mind is to see exactly what's happening in Ghana, Nigeria right now. To see all these folks, they also have a campaign about, like, I think a Ghana come back, something like this in Ghana. I know they have a campaign.
Year of return. your
Yeah,
return.
inviting the people to come to go back, and that's what we want to achieve with these people. Whenever Haiti reach that stability, stability about infrastructure, stability about anything politics going on there, we would have also a class of people that would be better off, that would be so much willing to empower the community. And one thing that we're also going to be doing, and it was the advice was given by one of our participants. We're gonna create the real estate summit founding members, because we also want to have these people that have money, that are willing to invest and participate in whatever we want to do. So we're gonna see definitely what we can do for Haiti, because I can just not say I cannot do anything for Haiti, but we're gonna see what can be done for back home.
I love
But,
it. I
but
love it.
that's the idea, Chris. But I understand people. I wish that this same energy I could apply it back home, because I'm doing it for DR. Literally in 2 days we were able to have sell for like $9.5 million. It's something though. It's something that could also help in the Haitian economy. But for later, I hope people that are following this, they can see that this is a vision for long term.
I agree. And if I'll say a few things, is just that is the fact that, yeah, and I always say this all the time. Folks who follow me long enough, they know I always say, when they say, "Okay, so you're doing great stuff in Haiti. I would love to." Like, actually, you do a lot better. Stay where you are.
Mm-hmm.
There's Haiti's there's one Haiti, but then there's dozens of little Haitis. A little Haiti in New York. There's little Haiti
Yes.
down here in South Florida. North Miami Beach is another Haiti. Pompano Beach is another Haiti. I'm just because I know South Florida very well. So there's at least 3 Haitis, in South Florida. Montreal, there's a little Haiti, right? In DR, there's a few little Haitis here and there. So stay where you are, work together, grow that wealth. Listen, yes, it's beaten to death, but the Jewish people are very successful people, right? And they're successful because they keep business first. They work together. They keep the money within the community, right? And they've grown to an area of influence to where now their country of Israel, they're able to grab those resources they've gathered where they were, the success where they were, and now pull it to help their national country be successful. And that's a model that we Haitians certainly can follow. We can be successful where we are, build our wealth up, and then go and invest in Haiti when Haiti is ready for it, right? Or even when it's not ready for it. When you're extremely wealthy, right, you can lose $100,000 in a Haitian venture. Versus if you weren't wealthy because you weren't doing what you're supposed to, lose $100,000, you're ruined. And now you're talking crap about Haiti, and you're right. And so be successful first where you are. And that's why I appreciate what you did, Marcus, because I saw from my own 2 eyes, I saw there were a lot of Haitians involved on different levels in what you're doing. You're being successful where you were to help Haitians long term, right?
It was Haitian, bro. It was, and that's what I was so proud to see, because these were like in one of our lives, people ask what were the background of these people. They were a nurse. They were like people that are like chemical engineering. Like they are they come from so diverse background, but also willing to say, what, I can invest here. I can have this return of investment, and then in a 5-10 years, I'm gonna be much more powerful. Then we can combine these forces together in the future to do something for home. And I'm glad you can see it, man, because I'm sure you will understand the vision. And every time I got the chance to talk to people, to folks that don't understand it, we cannot all be at the same place. It's okay to have some people in Haiti right now doing the work for Haiti, but you also need those that can do the work in the diaspora, build that community, build that togetherness, that sense of togetherness, which I think I see we have, and when we live in the diaspora, and go back, man, go back in the future, because obviously home will always be home.
Yeah, I love it. And the other big point I want to say off what you said was, and it tunes to what I do here, which is, you did this investment. You didn't have to do a live and tell people, but it's crucial that folks know, hey guys, hey, there's opportunity here. Come on, rush in, come see what's happening here, so we all can win. And that's a big reason why SeeJeanty Media exists, is that while I'm doing what I'm doing, and while I'm in Haiti, I want to show, hey guys, look, there's folks crushing it. There's folks doing great stuff here. Come look, be inspired, so you know that you can do it as well. And that's why I appreciate that you do keep a media component, because you're just like me. You're an entrepreneur, mover, shaker, actioneer first, and then you say, by the way, hey guys, here's what's going on. Let me show you something.
But just like I told you, I really remember keeping it by myself, where I'm like, you know what, no, Damien, I want to share it. I want to share it to people. I'm making an investment. This is the support that I'm getting right now. And as a Haitian, I didn't know anybody here. I received nothing but support since I've been, living here. From Dominican, they want to, like, now our office is do by blood. It's like a clinic. Well, like when you go see a clinic, like
long waiting line, people sitting in the lobby waiting.
No, but like people they want to come and sit down with us. They want to give us all the tools for us to move forward, because I think they saw as well that we're selling a different philosophy. We're selling that philosophy that we can work together, a philosophy that it's not hate here. I've been received well, because also I behave well. I commend respect because also I respect myself. So there's a lot of things that I wanted to share, and every time I get the chance, I share it with people so they can be aware of what's going on. And the feedback that we received from the people that came last week is like, thank you for just like sharing a light on something that was such a mystery for us. Because I know Haitian, everything they've been hearing about the is just like the bad thing, they don't like us, or the Dominican would look down on us. But I always say, hey, work on yourself first. Like, why would a Dominican, I'm coming with my background, my education, why would you look down on me? Because I allow you to. So the idea is, the more you work on yourself, the more you confident about yourself. Who can dare and look down on you, brother?
Nobody. And the last point I really want to highlight is the fact that is the replicating Haiti, because what you just built the blueprint, Marcus, for when the moment Haiti can give a little bit of headache-less era, and also too the real estate law and the real estate practices really need to be improved. Trust me, I'm buying some land right now. I just made my last versement, my last payment maybe a week and a half ago, and now we're in the process of really formalizing it. And it's a headache, right? And so there's a lot of precursors that need to happen before you could do what you just did. But the moment that happens, you got the blueprint, and it won't be nothing to copy and paste it and do a massive summit at Dicamon or Kinam, right? Caribe Hotel, Oasis. You do a massive conference, and just like that, same thing, same day, a couple $1 million are invested. And so you have the blueprint. I'm very happy about that.
Man, as I told you, it was very stressful. It was very stressful simply because I'm new in the sector. I'm very new. But I think it was good that I sit down with the actors. They felt like, I wasn't a threat, but just like someone that wanted to work with them. So I think that's good as well. And yeah, man, just try something, and I'm glad it worked. And I feel like, what I'm mostly proud of is how now they know how important the Haitian buyers are. That's what makes me proud, because I feel like, some people before, they were like, they didn't get the concept of the event, or if the people that were going to come, they were actually going to buy. But I'm very glad to see, let's say, only Remax itself, which was our host partner, Remax, sold for $3.5 million. And I heard that they've been doing event in Punta Cana with 0 sales. Wow. They've been doing it even in Punta Cana with 0 sales. So now, like, even these guys right now, the conversation is gonna be different. What I mean? And I feel like that's why as well, how every time when you work on yourself, you get it's also the leverage. Now, the first edition and the second is not gonna be the same.
Wait for that second edition.
It's not gonna be the same. You see what I mean? So that's the work that's the message that we want to also share to people. Like, when you work on yourself, when you don't wait for the opportunities to come, but you create it, it's also time for you to level up. And I feel like that's what we should individually do for ourselves, and also later we're gonna do it collectively for the country.
Marcus, I want to thank you for coming on, man. I wanted my audience to know again, you know, it's about Haitians, us Haitians knowing there's Haitians like yourself
Thank you, brother.
doing, impacting, game changing the game, and to be inspired to know, listen, you know, they need to be a part of it. They can be a part of it, man. And so
Yeah,
Marcus, keep pushing. Please
I will.
give us some contact information. How do you, what's the website? Let us know. Let
The
me,
website imorventures.com. Or
imarventures.com. I'm typing that in. If I misspelled it, let me know. I put in the comments there. imarventures.com. What else?
yeah, and a phone number.
Go ahead.
And the phone number can be a 561
561
381
381
9575.
9575. That's is that
That's a US
WhatsApp?
number.
Yes,
That's a
US
US
number.
number.
Oh, US number. Okay, so I'll put plus one.
The WhatsApp would be
Plus one.
849.
Wait 1 second. US number, and then go ahead, and then go ahead. What's the WhatsApp?
The WhatsApp would be like the 849
849
352
352
3343.
3343, and that's also plus one, right?
Yes, that's a plus one.
Okay. All right, let me just jot that in there for folks who are watching who want to follow up with you. WhatsApp.
You know, one thing I would say before I leave,
Mhm,
that's why I respect every platform that I will ever get the opportunity. You remember, like, do you know someone messaged me like maybe a year after I've done our first interview on LinkedIn to say that he watched my interview with you and then that he wanted
Nice.
to conduct business with me.
Nice.
That's the power of what you're doing, brother. And I appreciate the work that you do. And I saw also in a year like the growth of you and your platform. So keep it up and
Thank you, brother.
yes, I really appreciate it, bro.
Thank you, Marcus. As
Oh,
always, it's always a pleasure. You're gonna be back. You're a guy who I love. Every 2-3 years, there's a new massive thing you're working on. I gotta get him back on. Gotta let folks keep track. So in 2-3 years, you're gonna be back, and I
thank
can't
you,
wait
brother.
for that information and that stuff you have to share then. But keep it going. Your inspiration, brother, and thank you
brother.
for your time today, man.
Great weekend. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Peace, man.
Bye bye. Peace.
Yes, that was Marcus Bow. I appreciate you guys for watching that. You know, he's a guy we're trying to connect with for a little bit here to get on a live to share what he has going on, and I hope that really puts in perspective what's possible. And of course, again, as I mentioned, that's why I had to bring that first question up to him, which was, what about the folks who are saying, why are you in DR? Right? Well, you Haitian, why are you building them up? You know, why are you over there putting money in there? But no, it's not even, if you view it that way, like that's not the way to view it. The way to view it is he's building himself up. He's building the people in his network up, and most of his network is Haitians, right? And as he builds himself up and his network of Haitians up, he's building us up, right? Because the more clout, I mean, listen, he just mentioned he made $9 million, right? That money, listen, I don't care where you are. I don't care who you are. Money talks, right? And when you're a $9 million man, you walk in and you can influence things for you and your people, right? That the guy on the picket sign being an activist cannot. I'm sorry, right? An activist versus a guy who can raise or push or stream or transact, be responsible for $9 million in transactions. That guy will always have more influence in the capitalistic reality that we live in than the guy on the megaphone on the street. Sorry, right? And when you're in that position and you're able to do that, you will indeed be of impact on scale. And again, as I mentioned, build where you are. I've always said, build where you are, right? Build where you are so you can have the capital, the clout, the influence, so you can impact Haiti in the most appropriate way possible. Because one thing that we lack. Look, guys. One word. You know, those in South Florida know what I'm talking about. Cubans. You can't say Cubans are building America up. You go to Little Havana. If you don't talk Spanish in Little Havana, good luck. Good luck, right? You know, if you're not Cuban yourself trying to do business in Little Havana, good luck. No, they built themselves up. And listen, vote time, election time. There's a reason why Cuba is still under embargo, right? Because the influence Cubans have, right, in America. and quite frankly, listen, the way Haiti's treated right now by America, right? The way Biden is by the vague, right? You can question whether or not, again, I don't know where you are on the fence of, don't Haiti, America shouldn't be involved, or be involved, but the fact is there's no Haitians really at the table to say anything one way or another, and because there's just, who cares, right? Haitians in America, yeah, we'll do a photo op around election time, and yeah, maybe some will vote, maybe some won't. Mostly Democrat, anyways. Move on. We're frankly insignificant in the political sphere, and economically, we are several rungs down the ladder compared to others, right? And that we will only change, and Haiti will only have a real shot of lasting, long-term aligned capacity when we are successful where we are, and then can use that influence to push Haiti in the right way, right? Push Haiti to where in DR, the Haitians there can say, you know what, DR government, I raised, Mark will probably be a $9 billion man in a few years. I transact $9 billion for your economy. I need you to allow more exports from Haiti, right? The guys in America who are being in the different pockets, they can say, you know what? No, I need you. Listen, Mr. Senator, make it happen to where, it's easier to invest in America and Haiti. And on top of it, I get tax breaks. I get tax breaks for investing in Haiti, right? Those are the sort of influence making things you can do when you're successful where you are, and it goes back to helping your country. So for those who may not understand the importance of what Marcus is doing in the DR, I just wanted to take a few minutes to really break that down. Again, hats off to Marcus. Keep pushing, keep doing what you're doing. Nothing but big respect, man. And so I'm going to bring on one more person on our stage. I don't know if he's still there or not. I don't know, but we'll try to bring him up. And if he is, feel free. He's someone who messaged me through the SeeJeanty share, just like everyone has access to. I didn't see any questions this time. Hopefully next time, we get some more engagement, because again, I really want to get more of you guys who are watching on here, get a conversation going. Again, that's one thing, since I don't do the Haiti Biz News anymore, I want this to be more of a free flow, off the cuff, just having a conversation, me and your boy, SeeJeanty, Chris Jeanty, your boy, just chatting with you, And so let's bring on Al on stage. Al, what's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me, Chris?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you, bro. What's up, man? What's up? How are you?
Yeah, I was well.
Ooh, there's some static coming from your mic.
Oh, it's coming out.
Oh, there's some
Still
static
bad?
coming from. No,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. No static so far. Okay.
I mean, I can switch my phone, but that might take a second.
Yeah, switch your phone. We'll give Al a minute. All right, we'll give Al a minute. Yeah, he'll switch to his phone, and then we'll get him back on. I'd love to have him. Ow! Oh, I just stabbed myself. I thought this was my other pen that was in my hand. Oh, that hurt. We'll give Al a minute and get him back on. But it's been a great conversation thus far, and I appreciated everyone who's watched it. And it's always a blast to come on. I always make time to make sure to always, no matter how busy I am, to connect with everyone. Oh, I see Al. There's Al. Let's bring him back on.
Hey, how's that?
Oh yeah, night and day. Good stuff, man. Yes, sir. So Al, yes, sir. Floor is yours, man. What question, comments, thoughts? What do you want to say, man?
Yeah, I sent that email earlier, so I was wondering, is it possible to where Haitians in America, they binge watch news, and I think it's more about the visuals being there as well. So say there's an issue with a power plant, not only are you reporting on it, but it might cut to a scene to where you got someone on the ground there, and it's just like, hey, this is what's happening, live view, because at that point you could kind of feel like you're almost there in a sense, and it resonates more versus seeing someone sit down and they're just explaining what's the hot topics. You can still be unbiased, but still interact with the people. And I feel like once you have that, the viewership is just going to go up a little bit more, because what people liked about your other videos was the HD views of Haiti, which they rarely see. You're interviewing businesses, all positivity. But then when you take that away, it's almost like it's not that same feeling. So I think that's why you're saying maybe the views went down. People watch anything on Vice. One time I was watching a bunch of people with dogs catching rats. I would never watch that, but it's just like, you know,
I remember that episode. Yeah.
Right. It's just a visual that's interesting, you know, so.
Right. No, Al, you got a point, bro. You got a point. And that's one of the big things I want to do in my reboot is I want to put real infrastructure behind my media, my Haiti Biz News. And that is one of the things. I want to have an actual journalistic team, and I want to have a team that has a truck and is going on location. Listen, I was working with a good friend of mine. I'm going to give him a shout out, Christian Snow. If you're watching, Christian, hats off to you, respect. He's a guy he has a lot of experience in media, actual media producer, right? And we're working together on Haiti Biz News before, right? And he's putting a plan together and our budget, and he's really, you know, I mean, the stuff I have from Christian, we're gonna go ahead and, you know, blow dust off that thing and reuse when I'm gonna do this thing. I'm bringing up the reboot, and hopefully Christian even be a part of it. But that was what we were envisioning, like having a truck and going out to location and having a cameraman and having a journalist there reporting and doing those things and showing the visualization first, right? And doing the vetting of the story and even trying to interview, chase down leads. And so that is 100% the big vision of what we're doing. I think certainly you might be alluding to perhaps even now we could have done it. But as you can imagine, there's a lot of moving parts in doing something like that, you know, and especially, you know, the security situation in Haiti is right now realistically is spotty. You know, when I say not that I'm necessarily concerned for them, but the fact that anytime there could be protests, now they're stuck. And of course, I have a very strong conscience. I care about the people who work for me, work with me, you know, and so certainly doing it right now without the right infrastructure in place, I wouldn't feel comfortable, right? Obviously, I don't want to just send a team on around a moto with equipment, you know, to some hot spot, you know. So if it's going to be done, it needs to be done appropriate. And heck, most likely, I may even, when we really start doing this, even have a budget to have security there, right? To control, you know, if things are happening in the environment, to sort of keep control of the environment better. Because again, I want my journalists to be focused on journalism. And we'll have someone there focused on ensuring everything happens smoothly, right, for them. And so I'm thinking about all this. I want it to happen, and you're spot on. You're spot on. I think that's maybe the secret sauce that I need to maybe make sure a component of the secret I make sure I really emphasize on is make sure as much. Maybe it'll be at very little. Maybe the person introducing the story at most will just introduce the story, and then they'll pass it over to our person on the field who maybe does a prepackaged, you know, short segment that again is showing rather than just telling, right? So Al, you're spot on. Thanks for that comment, man. Anything else you want to say?
Sorry, I was hearing you, but I didn't hear everything because of the StreamYard. But I'm gonna watch it again on YouTube. But yeah, Thank you for answering my question, bro. I appreciate it.
No problem, Al. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for watching. Hope I know you're subscribed, but if you're not, make sure hit that subscribe button. For sure. And yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Yep. All right, guys. So that's where I'm gonna end it. Man, I was like, we'll do a quick 1 hour show here. We'll be out, you know, but it's 2 hours and 15 minutes in. You know, when you're having a good time with friends, you know, time flies, right? And you guys are friends of mine, certainly. And so I just want to, you know, give you guys some brief reminders, the same reminders I gave at the top of the hour, which is the fact that, you know, you can check out and support, you know, grab the book, you know, 101 Ways to Make Money in Haiti. Feel free, take a look, you know, at, actually, let me do something. Let me grab, you know, it's on Amazon, right? And a little note so I don't forget. And it's on Amazon, right? So you can check out that book, 101 Ways. You know, lucrative business ideas, insightful success stories, and interesting business opportunities for visionary entrepreneurs. 100% of our funds don't go in my pocket. It took me a year and a half to write that book. Every dollar goes to supporting SeeJeanty Media and the staff and the content that we do. So not only are you, gaining insight, right, and finding different ways to do things, and getting actual case studies of people doing great things in Haiti. But again, you know, that dollar you spend is going to, you know, help support what we're doing here. So certain things in advance for that. You know, remember to check out the SeeJeanty Action Group, the Facebook group. Doesn't cost a thing. It's just a group that you know, shares different content, different videos, different stories of encouragement, of empowerment, of things happening in Haiti. Do check that group out. Do join that. Doesn't cost a thing. The private WhatsApp channel, of course, you know, do, you know, become a Patreon, become someone who's supporting, because again, a big amount of the way we've been able to stay online and keep producing content has been through the incredible folks who are part of that group. So certainly appreciate you guys. And again, it's an ecosystem of people sharing what they're doing. They're impactors, they're movers, they're people, you know, engaged in moving Haiti forward, and being part of that alone is worth it. And again, I'm in there. We're doing great work. We're doing great stuff. I'm responding to, and I'm sharing parts of my projects and other things I don't even talk about here. You know, I'm sharing photos and images and videos of the things that are going on, you know, that I don't talk about anywhere. You won't find it anywhere except the private WhatsApp channel. So again, think about, you know, coming in if you like me, like what we got going on, want to support, you know, SeeJeanty.com/private WhatsApp group. The link's there. And again, finally, Hypro Distribution, bringing Haiti to the world, right? Bringing our products, right? So again, there's 3 ways to engage at Hypro Distribution. You become a wholesaler, where you can, a retailer, you can get our products at a wholesale price, you know, add $1, $2 on that thing, and you resell it, you know, locally. If you're a part of a shop or anything, anywhere you can imagine to resell those products, you know, you're helping Haitians directly in Haiti. 100% of our products are made in Haiti. The second thing you can do, of course, is, hey, just buy the product, right? We're on Amazon, buy a product, consume it, enjoy it. You know, it's the retail prices, but buy it, enjoy it. It's on Amazon. Go ahead. We got vanilla essence, and honey, and coffee, and jonjon. And I got a new product, Noyo, a almond essence, that's on there now. Black castor oil. You know, that's all on there. Heck, even our toll is on Amazon right now. We're selling it by the dozen. You know, a pack of 12. You can find some toll, and we'll mail it to you through Amazon. So listen, you know, there's no excuse, and our products are always growing each month. You know, in fact, I'm trying to get some cassave, a part of my portfolio right now. You know, hopefully this month or next we'll get that part of the portfolio, man. And so each month, you know, we keep on growing the portfolio of different products we offer. So check out Hyper Distribution, you know, and of course, the third way to engage, you know, become a retailer, just buy it for yourself to consume. And of course, we're always looking for those looking to invest in impact. Because again, we already have a pool of investors. We raised $100,000 for this business, you know, and we're about to do a second round of investment, because there's some things we need to get here on the America side, because we're set on the Haiti side, but you know, there's delivery trucks we're looking to buy, forklift, a lot of different things to really, you know, optimize the productivity of our U.S. warehouse. That, you know, listen, you know, you get a piece of equity, get a piece of this thing, because honestly, quite frankly, I'm looking to go public in a couple years on this thing, looking to cash in, you know, and if you own equity, when that happens, you can cash in yourself, right? When that happens, and again, we're doing capitalism the right way, where we're pooling our resources as Haitians together to do big, impactful projects. And that's I've been a talker about it. I'm doing it, and I would only recommend someone to do something I can fully ensure, you know, I can give my whole heart, soul, essence, you know, my everything, to make sure that the responsibility that folks have given by honestly giving their hard-earned cash to something, you know, doesn't get lost. You know, I can look for someone in the eye and say, you know, you've worked and you're working, and I've never worked and failed. You know, everything I've put, every ounce of energy, soul, being, you know, has found at least break even, you know. And so that's where we're working to and working on now. And so that's the third way to engage, is to become an investor, right? Become a shareholder of Hyper Distribution, right? And so that's the show. It's a wrap. You know, we'll try to be back. You know, this is the last show of the new year. You know, we'll be back in January, of course, God willing. So I want to wish everyone a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, all your religious beliefs who are watching, enjoy, have a happy holidays. I appreciate you. And think about the new year, guys. Think about the new year. Think about how can you do something different? How can you move closer to your goal? How can you move closer to your vision? Right. And whatever that is. And I know part of it has usually, if you're watching this, it means it's somehow, if there's a Venn diagram, this part's Haiti and this part is your dream. And I know it overlaps. So think about how you can maximize that overlap to impact both sides of what those things are. Really think about that for this new year, because each year is a time to reset, reflect, and prioritize what you guys have going on. So take that this coming year. And by the way, enjoy your Subjumu. The first is coming. Subjumu time is coming, so enjoy that Subjumu. You have my permission to enjoy just Subjumu. Do that, right? And again, remember, guys, follow me. If you're not following already, hit that big red button, subscribe. I'm also on Facebook. Subscribe there. I'm on Instagram. I provide some different types of stories there from time to time. Follow me there. I'm on Twitter as well. Follow me there. Right. And again, thank you guys for watching. For those who watched from the very beginning to now, you guys are the real MVPs. Talking for a long time isn't a big deal. Watching, that's a superpower right there, because this day and age especially. So thank you guys. And again, 2021, see ya. I'll see you guys in 2022. Peace.